Hello friends, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I'm here with a little something different. It's going to be a finished flip through of two flow journals. So I was asked by Subby to create a flow journal. So I created two. I started out by looking through, first of all, I thought about it for a few days trying to decide what I wanted to make the cover out of. And then I decided to look through because I kind of really wanted to make it out of a book cover. So then I went and just looked through instead of looking through my books, I have book covers where I've used the pages and things like that. And I need to use the book cover. So I looked through my book covers and I found two very different book covers. This one is, they're both vintage, but very different. You can see this one's Berenstain Bears Christmas Tree. And it's large. This one is a very old Broadman hymnal, and that's all I have left of it. And now, so I don't think there's anything wrong with making a elephant, what do you call it? Elephant mouth opening of a flow journal, because the idea, if you've never heard of a flow journal, what it is everything in it can be taken out and used for your other journals or craft projects or whatever. So I'm going to show you, let's go through this one first and then we'll do the hymnal. But this is at large because this is just the cover I wanted to use, and I thought it would be fun also just to be able to put large papers in here, you know what I mean? Because we have all different sizes of papers, don't we? And most of my papers that are in here are vintage, from my vintage papers. This is 8 inches wide and 11 1/4 inches long. So the one reason I also chose the book covers instead of like a cardstock cover or something like that is so that whoever gets these can use these as, reuse these covers for whatever they want, a journal, ephemera holder, whatever. They can repurpose it into whatever they want. So, and also there's lots of different ways to make a flow journal. I tied this one in with this pretty ribbon because I just thought it went, first of all, I thought it went with the cover, and we have bright colors here, so I wanted a bright color ribbon. The first signature is tied up here with a bow. The second signature is tied down here with a bow. So I just thought that made a really nice kind of decoration too on the outside of this cover. So let's get started. Both of them have two signatures. See, look at this spine. See, it's just a tiny spine, really. So, I didn't intend, this is not meant to be a journal. It's meant to be taken apart and used however somebody wishes. So, the first signature here, you can see the inside of this book is really cool. The spine is bare, where I took out the original book block. And so that it's ready to be repurposed and used for however someone wants to use it. First signature is covered with wallpaper. It's pretty wallpaper. It's got a kind of, what do you call it, diagrams of an airplane on it. So I don't know if you can see it. It's a neutral color, but it's got diagrams in white right here of an airplane. And that's kind of, in different spots on this wallpaper. So here we have a Tim Holtz man. He's just, everything is clipped on or in pockets. Nothing's glued down or stitched in or sewed on. Everything's meant to be removed easily. And so you just untie these ribbons and everything's loose, right? So this little Tim Holtz man here is paper clipped on. So I did, when the papers were too big, I folded up, folded over. So I didn't really cut too much of anything. Didn't really have any scraps. So here this was a piece of scrap of a wallpaper, kind of a big piece, but see, it was kind of also a scrap. See, here's a tear, but didn't that make a cute little pocket? I just flipped it up and put in here. So there's stuff in all the pockets that can be taken out. And I kind of paper clipped them in so it wouldn't be falling out. So when somebody gets this, they can do whatever they want. If they do want to use the pockets, they can glue them down or sew them down or just do whatever, So here's a little, I just put bits and pieces in here. This is a little encouraging quote from one of the books I just brought home a couple weeks ago from the thrift store. Really nice little quotes on the front and back of these. So I put one of those pages in here. And then some of my little pieces of vintage wallpaper. There's 3 different styles in here. The floral, this one with like flower power, and this one's also flower power with happy faces and things and peace signs. So really kind of, you know, 70s. I believe these are all vintage wallpapers. So those are just, a lot of things are just clipped in here. I mean, everything's just clipped in here like that. So it doesn't fall out, but it can be removed easily, okay? So I put some of my dyed papers in here. This is blue dyed, it's dyed with food coloring composition book paper. It was a nice big paper and, you know, great for writing paper and everything. So on this page, this is just one of my random, you know, vintage papers that I bring home from the thrift store, this book page right here. And on here I folded over the bottom a paper bag. So, and then in the paper bag, I just go in ahead and use that as a pocket. And I think I put a few things in here. Let's see, I put an old picture. Let's see, old picture. This is, oh, this is a card. It has a picture on the front. So a very old card, vintage card. It has a little writing on the back here as far as somebody must have. I don't know what it's talking about, but it doesn't look, well, it's kind of printed here too. Somebody had this printed, I guess. But a pretty black and white old vintage card. That is in the paper bag. That is, you know, it's removable. It's just on here with a paper clip. And a flash card and a playing card. So those are in there. See, that's all removable. On this side, I use this as a pocket too. And here's a postcard. So that's, you know, all clipped. On this is scrapbook paper. So on here I have clipped. I'm not going to remove all the clips because it might actually even take too long and be too hard to put everything back together. But this is a pretty piece of yellow lace that I have flipped over here. See, it's over on this side, so it kind of acts as a decoration here, but it's clipped on with some. I have used some of my vintage plastic paper clips and then some just regular colored paper clips. So that's on there, can be removed. This pocket here, of course, is clipped, and in here I have some of my pattern papers and tissue. Great for gluing or, you know, cutting up and making ephemera. Here's a very beautiful garden page here, vintage. Another piece of random, you know, I bring all kinds of, if you've never seen my Thrifty Thursday videos, I bring home all kinds of crazy, you know, papers you've never seen before, but they're all vintage usually. So this was one of them, really cool looking, that has purple lines on it and all kinds of fun squares to write in. This is just a pretty, I want to put some color in here too. So this is a pretty piece of cardstock. Why is it, oh, you know what? I pink dyed this. I sprayed it with my pink food coloring. And then this is pretty on the front. Yeah, I sprayed it pink on the back to match the front here. Forgot about that. This is kind of a carbon copy of some music, like words, I think, to a song, possibly. And then this is some pretty scrapbook paper. This is just one of those random, it's cardstock pieces of paper from a book or something, vintage. And then this is some more paper that I had brought home from the thrift store. I'm trying to see if it has a date there. I can't see. That says, oh, that's a price. The date might be on the other side, but here's two pieces of that here. I just love the color on that too. Nice and vintagey. This is a calendar, a pretty calendar page here. Oh, I put two in here. There we go. Two butterflies. I don't know if I meant to do that, but there you go. You got two calendar pages. This is just a vintage children's book page here. This is some of that computer paper with the track on it. So it's, I believe, connected right here. I put two pieces that are connected on this side, and you know, this is where they're not connected. So you can take that out and use it however. This is a piece of children's paper that this is a thick one. It's not the real thin paper. I have that too, but this is a thicker one that I found. I thought it was so cool, and I coffee dyed it, and it came out really cool. This is a double envelope here where I have them. The flaps connect them, but they are not glued or anything. They're easily pulled apart. And this is the middle page. So this is not meant to be in here tight or anything. I just have, see, this is, I want to show you. If you're expecting this to be tight, you probably could make it tighter if you wanted to get it in here tighter. But I just tied this ribbon around, and it just holding it in here until someone gets this and can decide what they want to do with it, right? It's not like a regular journal that's sewn in. It's meant to be just, you can just slip these pages out and do whatever you want. The envelopes, everything. So this is the back half of the first signature. See, here's that flap, and the other flap from the other envelope is tucked inside this envelope right here. So it's connected, but not connected, easily removable. So this is the back half of the first signature with the papers you've seen. See the calendar. Here's that other paper. Let's see if it has any kind of date on it. It's not a copy or anything. I don't know. Oh, it's stapled right here too, so be careful. Maybe I'll take that staple out so that you don't, if somebody's trying to get out and they don't see the staple, they don't rip it. I just didn't want to rip it by taking the staple out. I might, if it doesn't come out. No, I think I'm going to leave it because I don't want to rip it taking the staple out. But there is a staple right there. And let's see. I was going to look for a year, but I don't see one right here. But it's just really cool paper that I found at the thrift store. That's that cardstock from a book. The stationery. I think this was some kind of a carbon copy of, yeah, I think that's music, words, you know, the words. So as we go back, here's that pretty garden page. Here's a pocket. I didn't stick anything in. Hold on, let me get some. Let me get some, just a second. Let's see if this fits in here. I pulled out a day timer, an old date. Well, it's 2000, not that old, but it's just a divider, and it has a tab on it, so that's pretty cool. So I'll put that in there. The color's cool too. I think that's why I brought it home. And so, yeah, this is a garden page here where I flipped it up over, kind of like that paper bag. I just flipped it up over this page, put it in one of my vintage plastic paper clips right here. And so it also acts as a pocket. So I did stick some things in here. See, I've got index cards in here. The marbled index cards that you've maybe seen me use before and put in my journals, especially my glue books. And then two of these feel so thick. Is there 2, 3 here? No, it's just 2. They just feel thick. Anyway, these are those index cards you can color or paint on, and they have the lines and everything. And there's a little teapot and a teacup. So those are just fun. So those are in this side. And this is the paper, just paper here, this fun paper. And then here in this one side, I stuck, oh, this is a pretty garden page, I thought, from a garden book that I had brought home from the thrift store. I just thought these were so pretty. And it has the lines on there too. Can you see those lines? So great journaling paper, or paper for a journal. And so, yep, this is the blue dyed paper. This is the back cover of the first signature. And in here, well, I won't take them out. I said I wasn't going to take everything out. These are some smaller, like 6 by or 5 by 7, whatever they are. Scrapbook papers, and see they're clipped right here. So that was the first signature. The second signature starts with a pretty vintage atlas page, and then we've got some just my random cool papers from different things. Here on this paper, this is atlas index page, and I put it's like a doily placemat, so I just wrapped it up over here in the middle of the page. So it acts as like an inside pocket here. I didn't put anything here. I didn't, I didn't have to, but I just wanted, and it also acts as a pretty decoration for this page, but it's meant to all be removed. It's all loose, not glued down or anything. Here's a flower I clipped on with a binder clip, and I did put something in this pocket, just a vintage balderdash score sheet there, and then keep turning here. Some of that paper with the purple lines. And this is some newsprint. When I bought this paper right here, it kind of reminds me of construction paper, but it was called newsprint. So it's kind of I don't know, it's just a neat feeling soft paper. So, and it's neutral, so I thought it was cool. This is some cardstock, like scrapbook paper. It's craft colored with this pretty design. Some blue lined paper here. Like again, I said I wanted to put colors in here. This is from I think this is from a garden book here, and then like a Better Homes and Gardens with the 5-ring binder. I think that's what that's from. Here's some tickets that are clipped. These are Tim Holtz tickets. They're clipped on here with a pretty paper clip that I just got from Marie. A little copper paper clip. And here, this scrapbook paper I folded up, you know, it's 12 by 12. I folded up, I didn't even cut off the little line here. You can cut that off or do whatever you want. But I've got that paper clip here, and it's holding in. This is a card that's never been opened. It's got the card in the envelope, and it's got a pretty cupcake there. Isn't that cute? And this is some of that paper I took out of an album that I said looked like handmade paper. I coffee dyed that if you hadn't seen that before. And it came out really nice. And I put a paper clip here to hold this flat. This flips out. And there's a bridge score sheet and a guest check there. And then this is some of the erasable typing paper here. Nice big piece. A napkin here that is clipped onto this side of that fold out paper. And that scrapbook paper, there's a pocket here, paper clip with there's 2 cards here. 2 cards, a pretty garden card. Let me take these out because then you won't be able to see them if I don't. But a pretty garden card, a little like, I'm going to call this my school teacher cards because they have cool school related things on them. Buses and like colored pencils and a little schoolhouse and apples. So those are my school teacher cards. And then a pretty cool piece of, this is also from a garden, this is actually from a garden journal that I took apart. But it's nice lined paper and it's thick like cardstock. So those are in that pocket. We're almost to the back of this first one, and I want to get the other one in before my time is up. This here, let's see what's happening. Oh, this came when I took the paper clip off. I had this clipped over here. That's what happened. Let me clip that back. But this is some fabric pieces I put in here. All the goodies. This is not coming with an extra goodie bag, neither one of these. I tried to put all the goodies in here. And so that's why it's kind of elephant mouth and and thick, because I just wanted to stick all the goodies in here to make it a true flow book or a flow journal, whatever you want to call it. So here's the rest of the papers here, like we've already seen. The second half. Here's the doily, and in here, this one behind this doily, which acts as a pocket, I stuck a notes paper page and a vintage clue score sheet in there. And then this is that atlas index, very nice paper, very thick. And then this is the pretty atlas with the pictures on it. And here's the back of the book cover. So that's that one. Let's flip through this hymnal real quick. That's a vintage book too, the Berenstain Bears one there. That is definitely a vintage book. So here's the hymnal. Again, tied in the same way, just with some gauzy fabric that I had coffee dyed. And I thought that went better with the, more vintagey looking old book cover here. And so again, this one, you can see, it's pretty alligator mouth. So is this one. Got a lot. This one has the same amount of papers in it, but it's, because it's so big, they're kind of all down in there, except for the really big, super big ones. But it's got the same amount of papers in both of these. So here's this one. And I tried not to let it too much stick out, but this is a smaller book, so I did a lot of folding to get everything in here. This is the original. I didn't put any pockets in here because this is not a journal. It's a flow book, flow journal, whatever. And so, again, it's a rustic, I didn't finish the inside of this book cover. That's for whoever gets this. That's why I left it in its original state with the original spine and everything. So whoever gets this can turn this cover into a journal. They can reinforce the spine, make a new spine, but this is the original inside, which is actually very nice. And then we have some wallpaper here to start this first signature. Folded and folded to get it to fit in here. I didn't want to cut anything too much. This is a piece of that encouraging, inspirational book that I got with the nice quotes on it. That is in this little pocket here. And 2 of the index cards are right here, clipped inside of this little pocket, which is in this fold out. Some green dyed paper here. It's my green food coloring. And then these are just vintage papers here, really cool kind of little squares and everything to write in. Some Tim Holtz tickets. I have clipped on right there. This is the atlas page in this journal, this pretty, you know, solar system looking paper. It's from the atlas, and I made a pocket here. There's more pockets in here because I had to make more folds to make the paper fit in here without cutting it. So here's the card, one of the cards in this one, really cute little Valentine card with a little basket on the front. Here's a scrap piece of wallpaper that I put in here in this pocket to have fun with. And just some paper here with lines and things on it. Scrapbook paper, big pocket, and two index. These are the two index cards that you can color here. That, you know, the teapot and the bird one. And I'm going to try to go a little faster because my time is just about up, if this will cooperate with me. This is a certificate. This is really neat, and I found at a thrift store. It's like, oh, this is from, yeah, this is from, I had the Hammond organ music. That music that I showed you in my last Thrifty Thursday video, that was all Hammond organ. This man had, it was a man. I know it was a man, and he had this, all that music, and he had the original paperwork from the organ, and this was the certificate from that organ. Pretty funny, right? That I mean, he just got rid of everything. But this is the butterfly calendar page in this journal, in this flow book. This is the erasable typing paper, the computer paper with the track. I got a, you know, pocket here, and this is that pretty garden paper with the lines. This is from, oh, this is from a children's book. Like, there are different things in this children's book. This is like a science page here about the ocean. This is the, another piece of computer paper with a track. And what I did was put this wrapping paper, this is the vintage wrapping paper in this one, in this book. And I wrapped it over the side. See how it was pretty long, and I didn't want to fold it too much. So I just flipped it over the top here. It makes it pretty decoration. It's clipped down and clipped here so everything stays in place. Another science page, it looks like there. And this is a page here. This is a page from this book, from the hymnal here. Like the beginning page, it says, what a friend. Like what a friend, you know, from the hymnal, what a friend we have in Jesus. Right there, somebody wrote it there. I left it just the way it was, but I flipped this little page over, a garden page over the side here as a little pocket, and I just wanted to, you know, have some fun here, making little pockets in special ways. So in this book page pocket, that is clipped on. It's not glued or anything. There is a bridge score sheet and the little notes paper, like I showed you in the last one. They have the same papers in them pretty much, except, of course, the book pages aren't the same because, you know, but I'm just saying, like, the same ephemera, I guess is what I'm saying. But they're put in different ways, you know what I mean? Oh, this is a piece of my Astro Brights coffee dyed paper. Really cool. And then this is the middle here. This is, looks like a piece from Kira Plastic Key. This is from the organ man, the Hammond organ man. And so over here I clipped on I just clipped over the side here, a doily. And the other one I had the placemat doily, and so that's what I did with the doily. And this one, a round doily, it fit in here better. Oh, this is a paper bag I put in this one, and I just clipped it over the bottom like I did the other one. See how it kind of forms a pocket here. And in the front pocket, I just put some little Tim Holtz girls there. So, and this is a book from a children's book. This is a napkin here that I put in this pocket of, this is the printer paper with the track. And let's see, is there two here? Looks like there's two here again. And on the back of it, I have clipped, well, let me see. Let me make sure this is all. Yeah, okay, I don't think I meant to clip that together. Okay, so this goes here, and this is a book page, and then here is, okay, let's put this in here, and that's a flash card, and this is the onion skin. So we're on the back half of this signature. This is a flip out, but I have clipped on here the clue score sheet. This is the calendar. This is the calendar part of it. The other half was the butterfly. The Hammond organ certificate. This is a pocket here of scrapbook paper made from scrapbook paper. And in here I have the 3 sheets of small scrapbook papers that I put, I put the same thing in the other one. This is the just the random paper. This is appliance record. This is from an appliance record book, a vintage one. The flip out of a atlas page here with the 2 cards, just like I put in the other one, the garden and the school teacher cards. And they are in that pocket. See how it all, you can take this out and unfold it all and just use it however you wish. And here's just some cool vintage paper with lines and squares, the green paper. This is the back of the first signature where I have clipped the lace on this pocket, on this wallpaper here, and see how it folds over there. And here's where I have the pattern paper and tissue in this book. Okay, second signature also starts with that same wallpaper. And here's a, flips out, and I've got a guest check and a balderdash score sheet. This is some Astro Brights coffee dyed paper, green. This is some, I'm trying to remember, I think I coffee dyed this, and it's really cool composition book paper. I wish it doesn't always work like this where the lines run, but I think it's really cool when it does that. It just makes a really neat pattern. So I have only a few pieces of that because I guess it was a certain composition book that I had that did that, and I haven't been able to get it to do that again. So let's see, here I have a playing card clipped on, and a Tim Holtz guy right here. Some of my Chinese kind of rice paper, and the green dyed lined paper, some pretty stationery, a fold out of index atlas page. This is a pretty garden page in this one. Let's see. See, it has the flowers and the lines. Blue lined paper here. Just some, fun papers. This is the coffee dyed handmade paper from that album. The craft cardstock. The children's coffee dyed paper. Index page from a garden book. And here's the envelopes in this one. Here's one, and the other one you'll see in just a second. This is the newsprint. And now this is the back half of the second signature in this flow book. So yeah, someone asked me if I would make one, and I've known how to make a flow book. I've watched many a flow book flip through and construction. This is the fabric here, pieces in this pocket, in this journal, and a little playing card there. But yeah, I've never made one, and so I was like, yeah, I can make one. Let me make one. And I was going to make one, and I ended up making 2 here because they're so fun. So that's what I worked on. This one thing I worked on this week. And here's a flower here. And so yeah, these were a lot of fun. I want to say thank you to the subby who asked me to make these because, I wasn't really planning on it, but sometimes that's just the motivation I need to go ahead and do something I've never done before, is just for someone to ask me. This is a neat I got a little booklet of these envelopes, and they unfold so you can write in them. Isn't that cool? Yeah, so I put one in here. Oh, I didn't mention it, but this is a score sheet from my Perquacky game, which is an old vintage game I picked up at one time. So I have a few of those. I put one in there. And this is the back. Has some pretty music on it again. So isn't that cool? Both of those I think came out really neat. I liked using the book covers. And when you see this video, these will be in my shop. So I hope you enjoyed something a little different. I haven't seen anybody making flow books lately. And so, yeah, I was glad to do it and happy to try it out. And I really enjoyed both of these. And so I will see you in my next video. I plan on, hopefully later today, starting on my October dailies. And someone has asked me to make them one. So 2 October dailies that I need to get done really quick because it's October 1st right now when I'm doing this video. You'll see it tomorrow morning, hopefully. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in a little while. Bye.